Last Thursday, I was making pasta because Megan wanted a quiet night after her late work meetings all week. 7 years married. I thought we were solid even though she'd been texting constantly and coming home late. I told myself it was her promotion track. I had water boiling when I heard her laughing in the living room. She had her phone on speaker talking to Isla, her best friend. Megan does this because holding the phone hurts her wrist. I wasn't eavesdropping, but then I heard my name and stopped stirring. Isla was cackling about how Megan deserved an award for staying married to me. Megan said she deserved a Nobel Prize for pretending to be attracted to someone so pathetic. They were laughing. I stood there with a wooden spoon while my wife explained she was waiting for my March bonus to clear, then filing. She'd take the house, savings, both cars. I could keep my comic book collection because that's all I was worth. Then Isla asked about Thomas, my boss, the guy I've worked under for 4 years. Megan said Thomas was incredible and I was too stupid to notice. She said I still believed she worked late for career growth when she'd been at his apartment 3 nights weekly for almost 2 years. I need you to understand something about cruelty. There's cheating, right? That's bad enough. Then there's cheating with your husband's boss. That's a special kind of evil. But this? Sitting in your house on speakerphone while your husband makes you dinner, laughing about how pathetic he is? That's not even betrayal anymore. That's performing cruelty like it's a hobby. And the comic book line? She's not just leaving him. She's rehearsing her villain monologue. She's been practicing these insults. You don't come up with "that's all he's worth" on the spot. Megan has been workshopping this material with her friend like they're writing a Netflix drama together. Here's what kills me, though. This man is cooking. He's stirring pasta for a woman who requested a quiet night because she's tired from being at another man's apartment. The audacity isn't even the affair at this point. It's requesting a home-cooked meal from your husband to recover from your cheating schedule. That's Olympic-level sociopathy. Here's what Reddit needs to understand. I grew up broke. Dad left when I was 11. Mom worked doubles at a warehouse. I learned nobody protects you but yourself. I married Megan thinking she was different from people who looked down on me. She told Isla she only married me because I was safe with earning potential, but I'd always be the trailer park kid pretending to belong. They mentioned Vegas, a work conference 8 months ago. That wasn't work. Isla referenced some video with a bartender, and Megan laughed about my believing her conference story. I made a decision, did not confront her. Turned off the stove, went upstairs, locked the bedroom door. 7 years. She's been planning this exit while sleeping with my boss, and I've been making her pasta like a devoted husband. The trailer park kid pretending to belong. Guys, some of you know exactly what this feels like. When you grow up without money, you spend your whole life wondering if people actually like you or if they're tolerating you until someone better comes along. This man married someone he thought saw past where he came from, and the whole time she was using his insecurity as a punchline for her friend. But here's where Megan made her fatal mistake. She assumed growing up poor made him weak. Nah. Growing up poor makes you strategic. Rich kids panic when things go wrong because they've never had to figure it out. Kids who grew up watching their mom work doubles at a warehouse, they know how to survive. They know how to wait. They know how to plan. Megan looked at his background and saw a victim. She's about to learn she created a problem. So I started planning. I'm 34, I make good money in finance, and Megan won't destroy what I built. My bonus is significant, and she has a timeline. But here's what she doesn't know. The house is in my name only because she refused the mortgage liability. Cars titled to me. Savings is joint, but I have investments she never asked about. I called my brother Shane that night. He's a paralegal. He said move carefully, document nothing digitally, consult a divorce attorney before she knows anything changed. I played normal all weekend, kissed her goodbye, watched her text Thomas, while saying it was her mom. Monday, I took a personal day and met with an attorney. What I learned changes everything. But that's for the update. Megan thinks she controls when this marriage ends and how much she takes. She is very wrong. I love that she refused mortgage liability. She was so confident she'd take everything that she didn't even want her name on the paperwork. She thought she was being smart. Let the idiot have the liability. I'll take it in the divorce anyway. Except, no, that's not how that works. She played herself with her own arrogance. And can we talk about the brother being a paralegal? Sometimes the universe just gives you what you need. Most people in this situation would spiral. They'd confront, they'd scream, they'd give away every advantage. This man called his brother like he was assembling the Avengers. Immediate tactical response. No emotion. Pure strategy. Megan's out here playing checkers thinking she's 5 moves ahead. She doesn't know she's not even playing the right game anymore. Update 1. So the attorney meeting. Shout out to everyone who said lawyer, up immediately because you were right. Here's what I learned. In my state, adultery doesn't matter much for asset division, but It matters for leverage. The house being solely in my name is huge. My separate investments stay mine. But the complication is my bonus becomes marital property the moment it hits our joint account. Megan's timing isn't random. She knows when that money lands and plans to file after. The attorney said open a separate account and redirect my bonus before it touches joint funds. Legal and clean. Done Wednesday. Saturday, Megan's mother Penelope came for dinner. This woman has never liked me. From day one, she made comments about my background, how Megan was settling. I thought Megan defended me, but now I see differently. Penelope started asking about my work timeline, when bonuses pay out. She was fishing, then asked if we'd thought about estate planning. I exchanged a look with Megan, and I knew her mother is completely in on this. They've been planning together. The mother is in on it, of course she is. Guys, you ever meet someone's parent and instantly understand why that person is broken? Penelope has been marinating Megan in this toxic worldview since childhood. Marriage is strategy. Men are ATMs with feelings you have to pretend to tolerate. But the audacity to come to this man's house, eat his food, and fish for information about his money while pretending to make small talk? Estate planning? Estate planning? Ma'am, the only estate you should be planning is your daughter's exit from this marriage with nothing. The generational coordination here is wild. Mom raised a predator, helped plan the attack, and showed up to do reconnaissance. This isn't a divorce, it's a heist movie. Except they cast themselves as the masterminds, and they're actually the marks. After Penelope left, Megan asked if work was okay. Said I seemed distant. I told her work stress. She said we should vacation after my bonus. Somewhere romantic. She touched my face and said she loved me. I stood there acting like I believed her. Monday at work, Thomas called me to his office. I sat across knowing this man sleeps with my wife while I work late making him look good. He asked about my weekend. I said quiet dinner with Megan and her mom. He didn't flinch. Then Shane texted that Penelope reached out asking about real estate law. Specifically, how property division works with houses titled to one spouse. Shane played cool, but now we know the whole family is coordinating against me. Here's my plan. I'm requesting transfer to our Chicago office. Same company, out of Thomas's chain of command. My attorney says once I file first and establish Megan abandoned the marriage through infidelity, the house stays mine. But timing matters. Megan doesn't know about the transfer, doesn't know I moved money, doesn't know her mother confirmed their plan to my brother. Thursday, she said another late meeting. I kissed her goodbye, then drove to Thomas's building. Her car was there. I took time-stamped photos. She touched my face and said she loved me. The strength it takes to not flinch. This man is watching his wife perform affection like she's in a community theater production of Loving Wife, and he has to clap. He has to smile. He has to pretend he doesn't know the script is fake. And Thomas asking about his weekend? Sitting across from a man whose wife you're sleeping with, making small talk, knowing he works late so you look good at a company that pays him? That's not confidence. That's the delusion of someone who's never faced consequences. Thomas has main character syndrome so bad, he thinks he's untouchable. Here's the thing about people who've never been caught. They get sloppy. They think their luck is skill. Megan's so confident she's sending her mother to interrogate the brother, who's a paralegal. They're literally handing evidence to the opposing legal team and thinking they're being clever. Now here's where it gets complicated. Megan wants to throw a party celebrating my bonus. She wants to invite Thomas and his wife. His wife. This man has a wife I've met at company events. Her name is Isla. Megan's best friend, who was on that speaker call, is named Isla. I spent Friday trying to figure out if this is the same person. Checked Megan's Instagram. Found tagged photos from 3 years ago. Isla from the phone call. Isla married to Thomas. Same woman. Thomas's wife knows about the affair, and she's laughing about it with Megan. They're all in on this together. So it's not just my wife and my boss. It's my wife, my boss, and his wife all coordinating. This party Megan wants to throw isn't a celebration. It's something else. I don't know what they're planning, but I'm going to find out before that party happens. Yo! I need everyone to sit down because this just became a conspiracy. Isla, the best friend laughing about the affair, is married to Thomas, the affair partner, which means these two couples have been, what? Swapping? Coordinating? Having dinner parties where everyone at the table knows except one person? Picture the scene. Holidays, birthdays, random hangouts. Thomas is there with Isla. Megan is there with our guy. Everyone's smiling, making small talk, and 3 of the 4 people are sharing looks like they're in on the world's worst inside joke. This isn't an affair anymore. This is a lifestyle. They've built a whole social structure around deceiving one person. The dedication, the logistics. You'd almost be impressed if it wasn't so deeply psychotic. And they want to throw a party? Invite everyone to celebrate the money they're about to steal? The audacity has audacity. Update 2. Buckle up, because the party situation just became clear, and I need Reddit to understand what these people were planning. I agreed to the party. Told Megan, yes, let's celebrate my hard work. She was thrilled. Started planning immediately. Guest list included Thomas, Isla, Penelope, our neighbors, some of my coworkers. Tuesday, I asked Megan casually what she wanted to do for decorations. She mentioned hiring a photographer to capture the night. Said she wanted formal photos of us together. I asked why so many photos, and she said memories matter. We should document our life. Shane figured it out. A party with photos of us happy together, time-stamped right after my bonus deposits. Then she files claiming the marriage was fine, no separation, and demands her share of everything acquired during marriage. The photos prove we were together and functioning as a couple. It's not about celebrating. It's about creating evidence for court. A photographer. For court evidence. Folks, she's not throwing a party. She's staging a crime scene. Every smile, every kiss, every happy couple pose would have been Exhibit A through Z in her divorce filing. Your Honor, look at these photos from March 15th. We were clearly a loving, functioning couple. That bonus is half mine. This is premeditation on a level I genuinely have to respect from a pure tactical standpoint. Most cheaters are sloppy. Most gold diggers are obvious. Megan built a whole operation. Photo evidence, coordinated witnesses, timelines synced with the bonus deposit. She's running this like a military campaign, and she genuinely believed, that her husband was too stupid to notice any of it. She was going to smile for the photographer, wait 2 weeks, and then take everything from a man she thought would never see it coming. Meanwhile, my transfer request hit Thomas's desk for approval. He sat on it for 3 days, then called me in. Said Chicago wasn't the right move for my career. Said he valued me here. Needed me on his team. Denied. He's blocking my exit because I make him look good. My numbers carry his department. Wednesday, I talked to HR. Not about the affair directly, but about Thomas denying my transfer without documented performance concerns. They said they'd review it. Thursday, Thomas was suddenly very friendly. Told me he'd reconsidered. Maybe Chicago could work after all. He thought I'd back off HR. I didn't. I pushed the formal review forward. Friday, Megan's father Neville showed up at the house. I've always liked Neville. He divorced Penelope years ago and barely tolerates her. He pulled me aside in the garage and said Penelope had been asking him questions about my assets. He didn't know what was happening, but wanted to warn me that something felt off with his ex-wife and daughter lately. I told him nothing specific, but thanked him. Then I asked if Megan had always looked down on people who came from less. Neville got quiet. Said Penelope raised her to see marriage as strategy and men as providers. Said he'd hoped Megan grew out of it. She didn't. Neville is the only redeemable person in this entire family tree. Divorced Penelope years ago. Smart man, saw the signs. And even after all that time, he shows up in the garage to warn a guy he barely has to care about anymore. That's character. In a family of schemers, one person chose decency. And that conversation? Penelope raised her to see marriage as strategy and men as providers. Guys, Megan never had a chance. I'm not excusing her, she's a grown adult who chose evil. But she was trained for this. Penelope created a monster on purpose. Taught her daughter that men exist to be used. That love is weakness. That marriage is a business transaction. Neville hoped she'd grow out of it. But you can't grow out of something when your mother is actively helping you execute the playbook. Penelope isn't just Megan's mom, she's her accomplice. Saturday, I filed for divorce. My attorney submitted the petition citing irreconcilable differences with evidence of infidelity as supporting documentation. Megan doesn't know yet. She's still planning the party for next weekend. Sunday, I sent Thomas an email requesting a meeting with his supervisor about department restructuring. Professional language, nothing personal. But Thomas knows what I'm doing. I'm going over his head and documenting his retaliation for my transfer request. HR already has my complaint. His supervisor will now see patterns. Megan texted asking what appetizers I wanted for the party. I said, surprise me. The party is Saturday. My divorce filing will be served Friday afternoon. Thomas has a meeting Monday morning with his boss and HR about his management decisions. Isla came over today to help Megan plan. I heard them laughing in the kitchen about how everything was coming together perfectly. Megan said after the party she'd finally be free of this boring life. They still think they're winning. They have no idea what's coming in 5 days. Reddit. I'm not walking away quietly. They wanted to humiliate me and take everything I built. Instead, they're going to watch it all collapse around them while I'm already gone. What appetizers do you want for the party? Surprise me. Cinema. Actual cinema. This man is watching his wife plan her own downfall and helping her pick snacks for it. Folks, there's something beautiful about this moment. Megan is in her kitchen, laughing with Isla about being free of this boring life, putting together a party that's secretly evidence gathering for a divorce she'll never get to file. She thinks she's 5 days away from victory. She's actually 5 days away from losing everything. And he's just letting it happen. No confrontation, no drama, no warning shots. He's going to let her decorate the whole house for a celebration that will never occur. Buy the appetizers, hire the photographer, get her hopes all the way up. Then Friday afternoon, papers, Saturday, no party, Monday, Thomas's career implodes. They wanted to humiliate him? He's about to give them a masterclass in what humiliation actually looks like. Final update. Friday at 4 p.m., a process server handed Megan divorce papers at her office. I know because Isla was pounding on my door by 6 p.m. She came in screaming that I was ruining everything, that Megan called her hyperventilating from the parking garage, that I had no right to blindside them like this. Isla kept saying, "We're terrified. You don't understand what you've done." I asked, terrified of what exactly? She couldn't answer. Megan came home at 8 p.m. She tried the crying approach first, said she loved me. The call I overheard was just venting. Every wife complains about her husband. I let her talk for 20 minutes. Then I asked about Thomas. She said nothing happened. They were just friends. I misunderstood. I showed her the time-stamped photos of her car at his building. She switched tactics. Said I drove her to it. Said I was boring and predictable and she needed excitement. Said Thomas made her feel alive while I made her feel like a roommate. She talked for an hour, trying every angle. I watched her cycle through tears, anger, blame, bargaining. Classic. Isla pounding on the door screaming, "You're ruining everything," is genuinely the funniest thing I've ever heard. Ma'am, what exactly is he ruining? Your coordinated scheme to steal his money? Your little conspiracy club? The party you were planning to stage evidence at? And she said, "We're terrified," but couldn't explain of what. Because saying it out loud, "We're terrified you figured out our multi-year plot to rob you," sounds insane even to people committing the plot. Then Megan comes home and tries every manipulation tactic in the book. Crying? Didn't work. Denial? He has photos. Darvo? You drove me to it. Blaming him for being boring? She went through the entire narcissist playbook in an hour, and this man just watched. Like a nature documentary. Here we see the cornered manipulator cycling through her survival strategies. She said he was boring and predictable. My brother, you're the one who got played. You're the one who didn't see it coming. Who's predictable now? Then I told her the house stays with me because it's solely in my name. Her face changed. She said that's not how divorce works. I said my attorney disagrees. She said her mother's lawyer would fight it. I said good luck. She asked about my bonus. I said it's in a separate account now, never touch joint funds, stays mine. She started yelling that I couldn't do this, that she had plans, that I was supposed to be predictable. She actually said those words. I was supposed to be predictable. Saturday, no party happened. Megan spent the day calling Penelope strategizing. I heard her saying they needed to pivot, that I'd moved faster than expected. Penelope was furious on speaker. Said Megan should have filed first, should have secured the money before I noticed anything. Monday, Thomas had his meeting. HR had my transfer denial complaint plus documentation of his inconsistent management decisions. His supervisor asked questions Thomas couldn't answer without revealing personal conflicts of interest. Thomas wasn't fired, but he's now under review, and his promotion track is frozen. His reputation is damaged. I was supposed to be predictable. That's not even an insult anymore. That's a confession. She literally admitted out loud that her entire plan depended on him being too stupid to notice. She married a stereotype in her head. The pushover husband, the oblivious provider, the safe, boring choice, and never bothered to look at the actual person. And Penelope on speaker yelling that Megan should have filed first? They're not even pretending anymore. They're having a post-mortem on their failed heist like they're reviewing game tape. You should have secured the money. Mom, your daughter just got caught running a 2-year con with your help, and your response is tactical notes? The generational delusion is immaculate. Even in defeat, they think the problem was execution, not that they're garbage human beings. Tuesday, Megan moved to Penelope's house. Before leaving, she stood in the doorway and said, "I'd regret this." Said she'd make the divorce ugly. Said I was punishing her for being honest about her feelings. I told her she was honest with Isla on speakerphone, not with me. 7 years, and she never once said she was unhappy to my face. She left. Neville texted asking if I was okay. Said Penelope was blaming him for warning me. Their relationship is now worse than ever. I felt bad about that, but Neville said he'd rather know what kind of person his daughter became. Thomas's situation got worse. Word spread through the office about his management review. People started questioning his judgment. Two senior team members requested transfers away from his department. He's not recovering from this professionally. Megan's attorney tried negotiating, wanted the house sold, and split. My attorney showed the sole title, showed my separate finances, showed evidence of her planning to divorce after my bonus. Her leverage disappeared. She texted last week asking if we could talk. Said she missed our life. I didn't respond. I'm moving to Chicago next month. Transfer approved by Thomas's supervisor directly. New department, new city, clean start. Read it. She thought I was the pathetic loser who'd never see it coming. Turns out the trailer park kid learned something growing up poor. You protect yourself because nobody else will. I was making pasta when I heard everything. Now she's at her mother's house with nothing while I kept the house, my money, and my future. I was punishing her for being honest about her feelings. Honest. She was honest with Isla. On speakerphone. While you were in the next room cooking her dinner. That's not honesty, Megan. That's getting caught. 7 years of marriage and she never once told him she was unhappy. Never gave him a chance to fix anything. To try counseling. To have a real conversation. Because she didn't want to fix it. She wanted to extract maximum value and leave. You can't claim victimhood when your honesty was accidentally overheard cruelty. And now she's at her mother's house. The mastermind, the coordinator, the woman who raised her to see marriage as theft. They can strategize together about what went wrong. They've got plenty of time now.